Hello everyone, today we are ranking the monsters in Pillar Chase 2. So first up is Vapor. Vapor is slow, but does 75 damage. His spider skulls make up for the slow speed, and you can teleport and easily kill a bad player. He is also free. There's not much more to say. So I am gonna give Vapor a B tier. He was close to a, but he is too slow, and can get outdone by good players. So next up is Rosemary. At first I thought she was trash, but I played her and went against good Rosemaries, and I realized Rosemary actually isn't that bad. She does 30 damage and has 50 stamina, but what stands out is her speed. You are faster than other players, and in the right hands you can get a lot of kills, but it's really hard to win. You will rarely get a server wipe since it takes so much time to kill someone, and for those reasons I'm putting her in B tier, behind Vapor. Next up is Fogborn. I love Fogborn, I really do. He does 30 damage and has 25 speed. You can wipe servers with him if you get looked at. He has fast stamina drain, but he makes up for that with his Thunder Warp ability. So he is a pretty good monster, but he has downsides. If you get a big map with Fogborn, a player can run, and if you don't get looked at, you're most likely not going to do good. His Fogborn stare is obviously reliant if a player looks at you, so if you play good players, it's an L. Fogborn was gonna be an S, but for those reasons, he isn't a tier monster. Next up is X. I love X. I main him so I could glaze, but this is an unbiased tier list. He does 40 damage and has only 19 speed, but he has 110 stamina, so it makes up. EXE is kind of map reliant. If you get a small map, such as FNAF map, it's GGS. But if you get a big map, unless you are strategic with your traps, you are most likely going to have 1 to 3 players left if you're going against tryhards. EXE first ability kind of carries him for chasing, so I think this monster is pretty balanced. EXE is so close to an S, I want to put him there so bad, but since he is kind of map reliant, he is at the top of a tier. Next up is Oni. I'm gonna keep this short. He has 2 abilities, one is shapeshift and one is where you see everyone. Oni is pretty good and was my first monster. He is basically the same as a survivor, speed and stamina wise, so if you get caught, it's GGS. But if a survivor can conserve their stamina and read through your shapeshift, it's gonna take some time to kill them, and it's an L. A tier between Sonic and Fog. Next up is Baldi. Baldi is cool. He has notebooks he places down, and if answered wrong it takes health and speeds Baldi. Baldi also gets faster over time, and does 45 damage. The only thing is, his early game is horrible. Unless you play against retards, Baldi kind of sucks. C tier. Next up is Springtrap. Springtrap has an ability where he floats, and if he touches you, you get fearful debuff, and he does 75 damage. He also has his ability that carries him. If you're in it, it drains your stamina instantly. Basically, if a player gets caught in this, they're most likely dead. The thing is, if a player keeps distance from Springtrap and doesn't get caught by surprise or in the first ability, Springtrap is useless, and he is easy to detect since he says voice lines and the chase music is loud, so anyone with a brain can avoid him. Springtrap is good if you catch someone by surprise or in the ability, but anything else he's mid. B tier between Vapor and Rose. Next up is Samson. Uncle Samson is good. He is to shot and makes you stay still and dance if you're close enough to him. He can also travel to his domain and send you to it. Now what's wrong is that he is kinda slow, and if you find the right door in his domain, it wastes a lot of time, and if you keep distance you can't get caught in his dance. He is really good on a smaller map, but he is easy to run away from if you don't get caught by surprise. He is a tier, but I don't think he is better than EXE. Next up is MX. MX is just overpowered. Not only is he faster than players, but he has 2 abilities that gives him distance, so it's nearly impossible to run away from MX. MX basically one-shots. His first hit breaks your bone and makes you slower, so it's GGS. He has a huge hitbox, and his hop ability will make you stumble if you don't jump in time. He also has fast stamina charge up. I think that's enough said. S tier. You need to get nerfed, buddy. And lastly, the Forest King. The Forest King is good for chasing. She's pretty fast, and she has two abilities. The first one releases a glitch projectile straight, where your head is facing and damages players, and blurs their screen if it lands. Now the second ability is what makes her overpowered. The second ability is Lurking Facade, and you release up to 4 heads, and once they land, they trap players for 8 seconds, and all you can do is pray that she doesn't get to you in time. She does 40 DMG if she isn't sprinting and 25 while sprinting. So, yeah, this monster is good, but not as good as MX S tier. So yeah, that's it. If you agree with it, subscribe and like, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Bye.